for humanity. Welcome to For Humanity. Today we have this important story that we want to talk about. Really important. The cost value of life people neglected. The cost value of life people neglected. Let's really have these conversations. Because at some point in my life, I've tried to ask this several questions, like to ask this question several times to see the response that I can get from people. The answers to these questions have always been something that I don't really know how people are responding or reacting to this particular question. The cost value of life people neglected. Because in today's world, we have seen a lot of things that is going on today, the suffering and pain that a whole lot of people have to go through. And not for anything else, just to put a meal on their table, just to feed for a day. We have seen this over and over again. The cost that so much individuals in today's world have to go through. The struggle they have to go through just to put food on their table. And where it pains me a lot is people who are meant to cater for this situation look away. Definitely just look away. Independently, they have just turned their eyes on the real issues that is plaguing our today's world. And for this reason, I really find it funny or unimaginable because I really do not know how to explain the real reason why everyone that lives in today's world cannot really see the meaning of life. Why are we here? What are we living for? For what reason are we here on this earth planet? And if we happen to know the reason why life is given to every one of us, why do we not see the name to really do the thing that are needful? That a lot of people lost their life daily, not just because of what they want to, let's say they want to have that luxury life. Their desire is just to put food on the table, just to put some meat on the table. And this has become so difficult for a lot of people to do. But the question which I'm asking, because not many people have been able to give me this right answer. I've asked this question several times. So please, I don't know if you have the answer to this particular question, you could help me out here. The cost value of life. What is actually life? Because I really do not fathom the answer a lot of people have given to me. And for this reason, I decided to put the question out here on this our channel, which is For Humanity. Because we really need to get to the final explanation, or let's say the true meaning of humanity. What does it mean to be a human? What does it mean to be a human being? And what is the cost value of life? Because a lot of people, or let's say generally the whole world, as of today, have looked away. People have really looked away. Independently, there is just this focus of my life, my business, my wife, my children, my work, my money. And I've gone to, sit myself down to really want to know the reason why life has become so self-centered, or life has become so individualistic. Like a lot of people really don't care about the welfare of others, whether they go through some. Hi, hello. Welcome to For Humanity. I don't understand your language. All right, I am supposed to put, I'm speaking English, by the way. I don't know if you speak Italian, because this live podcast is going to be for both English and Italy. If you happen to speak Italy, you could signal me out there and give me just a signal so that I can also translate the words which I'm speaking in this live podcast. My life focus of today is the cost value of life that people have neglected. A lot of people in today's world have really neglected the cost value of life. Hello, Manta Body. I really don't know how to pronounce your name properly, but I really want to know if the language you speak. I don't know what language do you speak. If you happen to to have a particular language that you speak that is related to mine, I can really want to translate to you so that you can understand the speech or today's what we are doing over here is a live podcast that we are trying to discover this true meaning of humanity because of the things that is happening to this world. It really bless my heart, guys. This thing, like I'm explaining to you, is really a burden in my heart that I don't really know how to really push through these certain things in order to correct some errors, some mistakes. Hi, congratulations. Okay, you are a charitable. Thank you very much. I really appreciate your support and your comment. And please do not forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification because in this our channel we try to do the least we could because like I'm explaining, the pain and the body that I have in my heart whenever I see someone who is, let's say, who is handicapped, who cannot really meet the basic requirement in order to have their sustainable life, it breaks my heart, guys. This really breaks my heart because I do always want to ask this question. If every human being that lives in today's world has the same heart, has the same heart, there wouldn't be the fighting and the strife that everyone is going through today. If every human who lives, who happen to live in today's world, have this just a single heart. I care for you, you care for me. You have that empathy towards me. If you find something going wrong around my space, it should also be a concern that you should say, okay, this person really need this help, he need this assistance. Let me see what I can do in order to, to assist him to bring him up into this shape so that he could be able to manage the situation. But today, we see the government are spending billions of dollars in some budget. Thank you, thank you. I really like that you help small business owners. Thank you. I really appreciate your comment and your support. The thing, guys, is the least I could do. Is the least I could do. I don't have much. Like I said, I do not have much, but the little that I have, even if sometimes I do say this to most people, if the list that I have to divide it into two to make sure that who doesn't have at all have little from me in order to make through to the next day, I'm going to sacrifice myself. You know, that is what life was. That is actually what life was. There is no much. I do ask this question: why are we living? There is no much about life. Guys, this is the basic truth. There is not much about life. If you really want to evaluate this life system, the whole thing in this world, you will come to terms with me that what we are really striving for is nothing, right? It's really nothing. If not for the basic thing that we all strive, we all do daily on our daily basis, which have to be we eat, you have a roof over your heads on each daily basis. And what other else? Maybe the mobility that could move you from one location to another. What else are we striving for? What else are we really gathering for that we cannot really feel the need or see the need to care for someone else who is in need, someone else who is in pain? There are a lot of people that have lost their life today who shouldn't have. There are so many people in today's world who have lost their life, who shouldn't have, who will have had a contribution to make in our society, in our day-to-day activities. They have lost their life. But for what offense do they commit? No offense. The only offense they committed is just by being a human. That is the only offense they have committed. Just by being a human being is just the only offense they have committed. And they are no more. And the society looked away. The society really looked away. Is it not really painful? Is it not really painful? Because if we do not understand this basic true meaning of life, and to what end are we going to continue this consistent, strong and striving, this consistent waging war against one another? And when we really want to ask the question, okay, why are we really fighting? We are fighting over nothing, and yeah, it's today or no, we lose everything. We are gone. We are no more, right? May God bless you too. I know that, like you said, you really cannot understand the language that I'm speaking. I really appreciate you, and I'll like to say thank you for your constant support. And if you haven't subscribed, please give your subscription and turn on the notification so that YouTube can recommend this channel, because in this our channel we try to give the little support we could to the society. Like I always say, I do not have much, but the least that I have, the little that I have, I always want to share with who doesn't have it at all. I always want to share with who doesn't have, so that I see the only thing that gives me joy is when I can't be able to put smile on someone else's face. If anything from me at all that could come to someone else and the person is smiling, there's a smile on such on such individual face, I'm happy, and that is the joy. Because if we are really going to evaluate life, there are so many things we are going to see that make life inconsequential. There are so many things we are going to begin to evaluate. We are going to begin to, analyze the system of life, the basic of life, that will not come to things to really, agree with one another to say there is actually nothing here. And for most reason, for what it was, I will say for people who doesn't really care much about others, I bring them little but not much. Reason because a lot of people really do not understand the basic concept of life. Number one, because if you have no knowledge of the supreme being, which to be God, if you don't know the existence of God, it will be really difficult for you to understand the true meaning of life. And for that reason, also difficult for you to give the value, the basic value that is needed for someone else who sits around you. Because if you don't know who gives life, someone who gave life, you cannot really understand the concept of life. Most people does not know that life came from God. Life actually came from God, right? That is the basic truth. It doesn't matter what whatever the theories that have came out into this world, the theories of the scientists, which I would just say life comes from the revolution of ape, which I which I call a false theory or a false narrative. That shouldn't be the truth. Life does not originate from apes. Life came from the true living God, the mighty God, the creator of heavens and the earth. That is the owner, the creator, and the founder of life. And that's still the reason why most people find it difficult to really want to give back to the society, because they don't have the knowledge of the true living creator in them. They do not have the knowledge of he who gave life. And for that reason, their mind is so tight up, their mind is so narrow up that they don't see the need to feel for the society. That is the same reason why you could see someone who already has it enough. He have he have much in abundance in his pocket, in his bank account, but yet he still cannot afford to give back to the society. And that is where you see some looting that keep going on and on from those able body that was kept in some of those government house to take care of the people, and they really do not care about the individuals who are strongly day to day, who are striving from one angle to another in order to just put a 3 square meal on their table. Because this set of people, their mind has been so much eat up by the system that isn't part of the system of God. That is the reason why most people, when I happen to see the kind of character that comes out of people, because in my day to day, I do experience life from each individuals that I come across in my cycle. What they do, the kind of character, the kind of exhibition that comes from them. It is saying they really have this mindset that all that all that it is for them, all what they really want to do is to take from others, just to take from others. Whatever means they could use to get from others is what they are going to do. So you can imagine someone who doesn't care if he took from you is going to hurt you, and such a person will have the impetus, the temerity to really want to care for you. He will never, and he will never, for a reason, for a second, thought twice that there is need for him to give back to the society or to give back to individuals that are struggling for life. This is why the terms have to come to this. We have to come to these narrow terms. We have to come to this agreement, this basic concept, that summarize everything. Life is from God, and whoever does not know or have the knowledge of the one true God, we always find it difficult to really want to reshape or in ideal to understand the path and the system that life has has to be followed and has to be consistently be run. Because today I really want to see what I can do. What can I really do? Because unlike I don't have the much as I needed to also give back to society. And I don't have the much that is needed to help most individuals who are in need or who are really in this emergency requirement. But the least that I have is what I'm giving back to the society. The little that I have is what I'm giving back to the society. But that is still not enough because it breaks my heart for what I see day to day in my life, for what I see day to day, the society, how cruel people have grown to, the should I don't know how to describe some is in my own terms. If I only want to describe the system that the world today is operating on is a kind of a careless system, is kind of a destructive system that is so dangerous to the human nature. Reason because we are going to see more and more of this same issue repeating itself again, and it's only going to grow worse. This is where it pains me. If the life in today's world is really in these chaotic situations, just watch at what will be the next, let's say, next 3 years, next 4 years, next 5 years, it will be. And it's going to be so much chaotic. We are seeing the high rising of what is it called? The high rising of a mental disability. We are seeing high rising of depression. We are seeing high rising of autism, high rising of mental instability. And if you want to look at the percentage of this of this situation is always in the youth, among the youth. The youth are mostly sharing the high percentage of this destructive system that is plaguing our today's society. And the youth are mostly affected. This is where the pain is. The youth are mostly affected for the system that this world is operating on, this new world order system. The youth are mostly affected. You see, most people are just being connected to their device morning till night. What they do is just be connected to their electronic device without really sitting down to really analyze. Okay, what are the effects of the consequence of these things to my life? What are the contributions that these things are making? Because if your device are not going to be positively generating things in your life, it could be negatively extracting things from you. If the population of depression, the population of mental instability is mostly on the youth, these are the same youth that will become the leaders of tomorrow. These are the same youth that will become the future of the next world. These are the same youth that will sit in the government office. These are the same youth that will sit in some of the well-recognized offices that the world will eventually be staged on. And if the youth are affected by this system, this virotic system that is going to be destructive to the world, to humanity. Tell me, what do you think will become the nature of this earth we live today in the next 5, 6, 7, 10 years to come? It will be a very disastrous environment. Yeah. And with the introduction of AI, this new tool system, that robotic systems are meant to control a whole lot of things. And I wouldn't want to say this on this live focus because there are some things that also occurred to me as a form of revelation that I see concerning AI, the system that is going to really become our world. Let's just call it our reality in the nearest future. Is going to be so much disastrous. And mentally, if we are not mentally ready, if we do not stage our mind, our spirit, our body and soul, being prepared from now, because you know the next 5, 6, 7 years is just right at the corner. And this is where the need arises for you to be prepared for what is coming ahead. How are you going to, be prepared and be ready for this system that the world is the world is reshaping, because it's actually going to be a new world order that the world is pushing towards. It's a new world system. It's a new world experience. It's a new world atmosphere. It's a new world, you know, it's a new world geopolitical system that is going to become the nature of the world in the nearest 6 to 7 years. And this new world system, there are going to be a lot of things that will be shifted out of the world, and there will be a new system that will also be shifted in. And this system that will be shifted in will be more destructive to the human nature. It will be more destructive to the human nature. This is why the preparation of now will determine where and how you are going to experience the next 5, 6, 7, 10 years to come. And this life focus is to prepare minds, because we are the humanity, and there is need for us to take care of our world. There is need for us to mentally take care of one another. There is need for us to look out for each other. And there is need for us to be concerned about the well-being of our fellow human, the well-being, the welfare of our fellow human. The level at which inconsistent mindset has plagued the people of the world is alarming. It's really, really destructive. It's really, really concerning. It's really, really concerning, because a lot of people are not really looking it in this way or at this angle. I get the point that every one of us, we just really want to live a comfortable life, right? Yeah. Let me say, is the dream of everyone to have that comfort life. Is the dream of each and everyone to have that minimum life that is connected to stability, comfort, and peace. But do you also know that with your strength in all, you still got to find it difficult and hard for you to really guarantee this kind of version of life that your mind emanates, this comfort life that your mind emanates. This is why in today's experience, a lot of people are seeing it so difficult to really want to capture the system basic of life. Reason because they neglect the primary source. They neglect the first right approach that is needed to attain life. What is that right approach? God. Most people have neglected God. For that reason, there is really nothing that anyone could do to save the world. If not coming to terms to understand that life is life is spiritual, number one, and life came from God. And for that reason, there is need for us to reconnect our mind, our spirit, our brain back to the source in order to now fathom on the solutions. The solution, what is that the solution? How to put humanity right, how to feel for one another, how to have the mindset in order to be able to, be there for each other, right? That is the concept of life. That is how life should be. Because if we're really going to look at understanding this basic principle, the basic principle that is going to be used to measure life, because most time you really want to measure the basic principle of life in order to understand it properly. Because when I ask this question, in most cases, I don't always want to get this answer right. I've asked this question to some people. What do you understand about life, or what is life? Where do life come from? Not anyone has been able to give me this corresponding answer that I will be able to, sit down and work with. If not for the concept that was given by the scientists, that life comes from the revolution of apes. But I'm asking the question again because I really want to know, do anyone has any thoughts, right thoughts of understanding, or whatever opinion of his could be regarding the basic concept of life? Because this is what a lot of people are neglecting. Most people are neglecting this fact, because some people just think that, okay, we just live, and at a point everyone pass off, they pass on from this earth planet, and then we are gone, we are no more. Then the question is, if life is just basically like this three principle that we normally do, like this three principle basic activity we does on regular basis. Hi, Manta body. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you for staying tuned, and thank you for always be here on this our live podcast. I really appreciate your constant support and your constant comment. And like I said, please do not forget to like, subscribe, and support this YouTube channel, and let the YouTube algorithm recommend this our channel to the rest people, because we are trying to make the proper form of human nature in this channel, and also to support, to give our little support to the public. The least we could, though we don't have it much, but the least we can, we are always going to be right here to give it to the people that are to our society, to try to amend some stuff, because a lot of things have really went wrong in our society. The basic value of life that people are neglecting, the basic value of life that most people in today's world has really neglected. And this is the plague. This is actually the plague that is eating up our today's environment. This is actually the plague that is eating our environment. People are suffering. People are indeed really suffering. There is a lot of pain out there in society. There is a lot of unfavorable condition that people are passing through. Are you not seeing this? Can't you picture the the viral destructive system that is eating up life? There are most people who have lost their life who shouldn't have, just because they couldn't put food on their table, just because they couldn't feed. This is what breaks my heart every moment. Whenever I walk by and I see someone begging for food to eat, standing most time, yeah, you might be correct. A lot of people will say they find themselves in such situation because they they misused the opportunity that was given to them. Hello guys, please, in this our channel, welcome to For Humanity YouTube. In this channel, we do try to make some social experiment, also give back to the society in our world, people who are really in intensive need for food. We try to give back to the world. So please do not forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification, so that whenever we make a new post, you can see our videos and give your support as much as you could. All right, what are we talking about today is the the basic value of life that people are neglecting. The basic. This is just the basic value of life. Any other things that is outside this could be considered as the secondary. There is the primary basic system of life that the world today are neglecting. And because of this, lives are going down daily. Not just lives alone, it's also affecting our world. It's also plaguing our world, bringing it to submission, bringing it to its knees. Because this is where my pain and my cry is. Seeing life in this way is really, really heartbroken. Like, it's really, really heartbroken to see the world. Because I do say everyone deserves a better life, right? Yeah, everyone deserves a better life. Of a truth, no one that ever come to this air planet deserves to live a perpetual avert poverty. No man. No man deserves to have a, a temporary fruitful life. Everyone into this world deserves to have that comfort, that peaceful life that should be considered as all right. I think with this, there is a state of tranquility, because I can say I've experienced the least that testify that life is simple. Yeah, life is meant to be simple, but a lot of people have made it more difficult because of inconsiderate mindset, because of irresponsible mindset, because of nonchalant characters, because of I'm not concerned, it's not my business if someone else is suffering. Like I said before, of a truth, I basically get the point. Most people contribute to the reason why they are in the states they are. A lot of people have misused their opportunity. For that reason, they are kind of, it's something called should I use the word consequences? Yeah. Consequence. They are kind of suffering the consequence of what they have done in the past. But the question is, should we allow the world to be plagued because of consequences? I know that at some point if they continue to suffer that consequence of what they have done. Let me read this message. I support you because I am a salary worker doing the same job of helping those who help others. Wow, that's great. Thank you, Manta Body. I don't know. Do you understand my English or you are translating? Because I really want to know if you can understand the language in which I'm speaking. And I also want to say thank you a lot. Yeah, really thank you a lot for your support to the world, your support to the environment, your support to the society. It really means a lot, right? I'm really really happy to hear this from you that you does the same thing. Yeah, of a truth. He is it's like a joy to hear this from you that you does the same thing. Unlike me, I'm also, like I said, my job is just little. I don't aim much. In most cases, the money that I aim is just really so tiny. And most time, if I really want to, examine my life or evaluate my life, I know that being a youth, there are still some things that I could say where I have not gone to that stage to experience it. But what I can say is one thing I can attest for concerning my own life is I derive joy in doing or helping others. And also I also felt the need in most cases that it's a responsibility. It's a responsibility that I have to give the least that I have to the people who are in need of it. Not because I have it much. Like I'm trying to say to uh, Manta, yeah, Manta, you really did great thing. You are really doing something great, something wonderful, something really, really spectacular. Because not everyone, like I said, because this is the question that someone have asked me. I've I've had this question from some individuals, and it have always come to be sometimes my meditations. What is that meditation? Why is it that it looks as if people who doesn't have it much are the same people who love to help others? I've asked this question. Why is it the same people who does not have much are the same individual who love to assist, who love to help others, who love to assist, who love to, see the world be in a better place? Why is it that way? I've asked this question on several occasions. And also people have also asked me. But the truth is, what can I really say? Because giving or kindness is from the heart. Kindness is from the heart. Yeah. Kindness is from the heart. If your heart is subtle and your heart is, you know, should I use the word, your heart has that calmness in within. If your heart is built on softness, you really want to see what you can do to assist the society, that is the only way you could offer the little one you have to others. Yeah, that is the only reason why. Like I am saying, Manta, I think you can understand what I'm saying because I try to question to know if I believe that you can understand because I can see some translation that is going on your comment. And what I'm saying is I really appreciate what you are doing. I really appreciate what you are doing. Like it's really the best. Is the best thing I've ever seen in my life, in my entire life. Putting smile in people's faces. Not because you have, not because you have it much, just because you kind of had this transition mindset. What is that transition mindset? You have put yourself in the same condition of this set of people. If it could be you, it because actually it can be you in that kind of situation. You kind of evaluate the situation that the person is, and you have weigh yourself. If these things could happen to you, how will you feel? That is the same reason why you could offer any list of what you have, not because you have it much. Because giver doesn't give because they have much. Giver doesn't give because they have more, because they have empathy. They have that big heart. I'll call it big, the biggest heart They have that feeling, they have that gesture deep inside their mind regarding the person that they have found in some certain situation. For that reason, they are not going to let go, not until they have done something, not until they have offered something to that person that they met in that situation. Like I'm saying, Manta, I'm really so glad, and I also want to say thank you. I appreciate you for the work that you're also doing to the society. And this is one thing: don't see it as it's lit. I mean, it's tiny, it's little, it's not much. No, you won't understand the value system that you are creating in those people's life. Yeah, all right. I used to help kitty, puppy, and homeless people. But now I no longer have the resources. Yeah, I understand. All right, I understand. That doesn't mean that the good deed that you have done has expired. It doesn't. No. That which you did for others will always remain because it came from a golden heart. What you have offered to the world, to the people, is you have also you offer yourself. That is actually what you offer. Basically, you offer your life. Because that which you have given to the poor and also to the puppy, everything that you see on in the environment that needed the help, you actually offer your own self, number one, because kindness, number one, is from the heart. Secondly, the least you offer is just a testament of what is done, what is deep down inside your heart. That is what you just kind of replicate by offering that little tiny thing that you have offered back to the society. Not because you give much means that you really have it. You gave the best you could from the least that you have. And God, who sees the heart of men, certainly knows that you have done the best you could. And the least you can do is not by offering everything, because what you have actually offered is in abundance, because it came from a benevolent heart. It came from a golden heart who really see the need to assist and to give back to society. And for that reason, it shouldn't pains your mind that you don't have more resources as of the moment to continue doing the good. And I also believe that a time will come that those good deeds that you have done will also return back. Yeah, certainly. There is always a reward to everything that we do here on earth. Most time people don't believe that, okay, how about the wicked people that does bad things on daily basis, people that kills other human being on daily basis, has their reward returned back to them. Certainly their reward will certainly return back to them. Of a truth, yeah. If they wouldn't get, because most people, like I always say, the concept of life is not just here alone. This is what people might not believe because they thought that life is a religion system. No, life is not a religion system. If these people that are constantly on daily basis project evil and wickedness towards the society, the fellow human being, they pass on from this planet, they are going to receive their punishment. Most people say, where are they going to receive their punishment? And life is only here. See, life is not just here alone. I can attest to this because of what I have seen. I'm still very young, but there are so many things I have seen in terms of supernatural stuff, things that are supernatural, that are beyond physical eyes explanations, things that are spiritual, that are beyond comprehensions. When you want to really want to explain these things, it might miss as if you are lying or you just want to put the mind of other. No, this is not just to put some individual mindset or to connect you back to talking about religion. Because most time I don't normally say that what I've experienced about God is not a religious system. It's the basic concept of life, how life is found, and understanding the principle of life. And you come to terms to understand this basic that will give you a wider knowledge to understand life and begin to approach life in the right directions. And for this reason, it brings you to a different atmospheric experience, a different world entirely. This is why we always say that life does not end here. Not at all. Life does not end here. Not at all. If you ever have that mindset, take it off. Life continue. And no one dies completely. No, every human being that have ever died, they never die completely. Never at all. I know that, yeah, it's a mystery. It's a mystery, but the little chapter that was open for me to understand through spiritual means, through an experience, through an encounter that I would love to call it, is enough reason for me to say, yeah, life is spiritual, number one, and life is it's like I'll call it, life is here is temporal, and beyond here is the height of it all. Beyond this physical fare that we all see, we connect, we interact, this is just a temporal system. Beyond here is beyond what man can explain. Because I do always ask this question because most people who tends to explain life never come to tend to answer this question. If you think that life is just this temporary life, why do you go to bed and you see yourself in a dream world in an external place, but yet you are on your bed sleeping? Why is it possible for you to transit from your bed and yet you are in a dream experiencing a different reality, working on different reality? And there hasn't been any form that the scientists were able to come up with this, should I call it a theory paper that could justify this reality that almost every human being that lives on earth experience. There hasn't been any such thing. Why? Because they are trying to approach life through a wrong lens. They are trying to zoom into life through a physical basic lens that they could understand. Because why most people argue about the deities of God, the existence of God, is just because, okay, if God do exist, why are there so much chaos in the world? Why are there so much system things that are easily consistent with the basic principle that God should have been? Yeah, if you really want to understand God, there is only one way to. There is just only one simple way to understand God. Number the first way to understand God is understand the person of Christ Jesus. Secondly, understand the nature of Jesus, understand the character of Jesus, the ways of Jesus, and then you understand that the basic concept of life, on how God projected life on his own awesome body, is that he gave man, he gave us, we that are human beings, the dominion to operate every single thing that should be on this earth planet. He have given us the dominion of the system, the power to be able to dominate and regulate and work on what needs to be worked on. And most people will say, if God have done that, why hasn't he made the same decision to say, okay, let me now come back to this, maybe the wrong decision, the first decision I made wasn't right. Every single thing that God have always done is always the right system. But the thing is, surely there will always come to a certain moment. All right. May God continue to bless him so that he may share with kindness people. Certainly, God will certainly continue to bless you. Like I said, don't ever think every good thing you did do not have a return. No. Don't ever think so. Don't ever think so that all the good things you did does not have a return. In my experience, I want to explain this in my little experience in terms of my the doing kindness. I have always got hurt in numerous occasions. That is just the basic truth. All right. I will smile in saying this. Most times, trying, trying, to carry out this kindness, trying to work on kindness, I do get hurt. Most time, I normally got into trouble trying to help others. In most cases. Ciao. Have a good evening. Thank you, Luca. Beginning. Thank you for staying tuned on today's live podcast. I really want to say thank you a lot and buonasera a tutti. Vuol dire che grazie a tutti, grazie a voi e grazie per il tuo supporto e quello a tutti che tu hai fatto, grazie a tutti. Yeah, what I'm trying to say is I do get hurt trying to do good. Yeah, for truth. I do. Ciao. Ciao. Non so se sei parla italiano, ma non so, tu sei italiano o in un'altra lingua. È questa che voglio sapere prima. Allora, io direi che take care of yourself. All right, thank you a lot. I really appreciate your support and for staying tuned. All right, have a good and a blessed present time always, and Know that God who you have helped, I mean, God who you have done his work, will always bless you. For sure, he will always bless you. Thank you. And thank you for your support. And have a blessed night and a blessed evening. Thank you. Thank you. All right. What am I trying to explain? That in most case, in most time that I administer good or I administer good deed towards other, most time I do get hurt. But the question is, most people will say, if you are always getting hurt in trying to administer, sorry, trying to administer good to others, why are you continuing doing it? Or maybe that is the reason why most people does not really want to do good. No, that isn't the basic measurement that you should be looking at. When you know that yes, what who you are cannot be taken from you, regardless of the experience that you had, regardless, no matter what happens or what occurs while doing that which you are meant to do, shouldn't stop the kind of person you are. Because the question should be, if life that you have already experienced, you have seen some ups and downs, yet your nature, your persons, your face, your physical being hasn't been changed. So why would there be a change from your inner heart, from your inner mind? So it has to stay the way it is. So what am I saying is you are always going to get hurt in most cases when trying to administer good to others. There are going to be some pushback that you are going to receive, some embarrassment, some some wayward system that will want to make you quit because the basic reason of some of this pushback is for you to quit because the world, the life itself, have this control system that cannot be seen. This is mystery, right? Yeah, it's mystery. The world, the life itself have this mystery. But the decision of whom and who not depends on you and I. Whether we are to continue or we are to persist on who we are depends on our choice, on our decisions. This is the reason why most time every single thing we do as human or as individuals depends on us. But we all have the decision lay before us to choose from. Is it going to be left or right? It's your choice. So what am I saying is when trying to administer good, there will always be a pushback. But therefore, it is your choice if to allow the pushback to reset your mind, to reset you from who you are not, or to make you become the worst version of yourself. That depends on you, right? It certainly depends on you. But if such pushback only energize you the more or only empower you, because the reason why some of those things do come is just like a test system of life. It's just like a test show that is trying to verify the nature of the base, the foundation which you are standing on. And after that, there is always going to be a climb. It's like like an upgrade that is going to take place after you have overcome that pushback that come to you. So for that reason, just like the basic concept of life, in a physical sphere, we can use the school as a description. Because school, before you can go to the next class, you always need to write test. This is why anything you do in life, there is going to be a pushback. That pushback is not meant to destroy you, neither is it meant to break you completely, neither is it meant to make you off, to separate you out of who you are. It's only meant to test the nature of the person you are. So whenever every kind of ups and down come to any man, and the person have resetted his mind to become who he's not meant to be, what it means it's either the person is a failure or the person is a winner. It's two choice. Whenever we face situation, difficulty, it's two choice. It's always going to be on two concepts. The result is going to be two. Either you being a failure by quitting or being a winner by persisting and insisting to remain who you are meant to be, to continue being who you are always called to be. I mean, to continue doing the thing which you are meant to do. So this is why whenever you face a pushback in administering good or doing the right thing, it shouldn't be a setback. It shouldn't be something that you kind of upset about. Why does it have to happen this way? Because I'm only trying to be good. I'm trying to do the right thing. Why is the world trying to make it seem as if I'm doing wrong? No, it doesn't really need to be as if you are doing anything wrong. The reason why you see some of those pushback is because life is systemized on these two platforms. The platform is when you are doing anything bad, There is always going to be a preaching, or there's going to be a word that will kind of remind you that what you are doing is wrong, which is two session. When you are doing anything right, there is always going to be something that will always want to give you reason not to be two session. This is the basic session that life is being measured over. So I really want to say to Manta, thank you for your support. Like, thank you for always having that mind to give back to society. Because that is what life was. Of a true, guys, that is what life was. That is what life was. The quest to life is after us, after set and done, after the hustling and the bustling, after the push and consistent push. But to what end? The way they have it all. After the consistent push, then you sit yourself down and begin to analyze each and everything. You begin to consistently look over every single thing around you. And you really want to see, all right, let me really understand all this wrong that I have been doing since my youth down to my 90s. Now let me begin to verify and experiment everything. What what does it really want? Because I have seen some old men who are close to their grave. When you ask them, what can you really evaluate about life? Most of them will say, well, there is really nothing in life, nothing at all. And you who happen to be young, you will really want to sit and imagine this world. Why would such an old, let's say someone who is in his 90 make such statement that there is really nothing in life? Because such person, in terms of his experience, all this why, in terms of all the things he have engaged in, all this why, now he is coming to a conclusion. He is coming to the final part of it all, and he saw and see nothing on it. It's all just zero. Everything is just nothing. Oh my word. Sometimes when I imagine these things, when I imagine if we could really want to look at life to imagine for what does it really want, then what are we going to make out of it? What should we make out of life? Of a truth, what should we really make out of life? What should we make out of it? If it's always going to be this consistent bustling, consistent hustling, then at the end of the day, when we are closer to the grave, then the person said, why do I really wrong all this why? And now I am about to leave, and yet I live with nothing at all. Absolutely with nothing. This wow. This is this is where it become odd and real. This is where it become odd and real. When you want to really measure life, you want to really measure it, you might not see the need to measure it now. Oh my word. You might not see the need to measure the principles of the basic value of life now. That is why I said I've asked this question, mostly due to the old men, people who are in their 90s to really want to verify the system of life or the basic concept of what, since they have, attained that stage, they are almost close to the grave. Now, let's have this conversation. They are already up there. Let's have this conversation. Should I say it for yesterday when I was passing by? That was, no, it's this morning. When I was on my way to the work, I met this old woman. The woman is really advanced. I met her and she was trying to climb a step. The step, not high, it's just like, just this, let me call it a half meter up. She was trying to climb the step. I would think that lady should be at the age of, all right, thank you. I really appreciate it. Manta, thank you for your constant support. Thank you. I believe God will really bring the basic needs for this project and for this journey to be able to do the needful. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate your consistent stay, your consistent contributions through to your like and your comment. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe so that next time, if you happen to speak English, I would like to bring you up over so that we could have a live podcast together and have this conversation and interactions on this same topic of humanity. if you understand English or Italian, we could have this live podcast together. All right. Like I was trying to explain, I met this old woman this morning, just this morning, and she was trying to climb the step. Not the step to the house. It's just like the step in a big building. She was just, trying to buy something, I think so. But she was struggling because I was from afar viewing her. And imagine everything, because this just happened to me this morning. This is why I'm just saying it now. This occurred this morning. I was from afar looking at her. She's trying to climb the step, but she was having difficulty to climb it. Back, let's say, 20 years or 30 years back, she could jump over the step. And I myself, when I got to her position, I jumped over immediately. Something occurred to me once I did that. What occurred to me was, you see this woman that you just passed now? She will wish, I wish she could be like you now. I wish she is young just as you are now, because she is almost close to what? She is close to her final stage. Being close to her final stage now, she know that everything that she's seeing now does not really matter. Everything that she can perceive, she can touch, she can feel, she can see, all of these things are all but nothing. All what she will need as of the moment is just life. Just to have that longer time to stay here, or to have that, if there could be a few more years to be added to her, like 20 years or 30 years, she would really love to. But now she is almost close to her closing chapter. And money shouldn't be her concern as of the moment. No, money shouldn't be her concern, because she have no need of it. I do always ask people that if money is the reason of life, if money is the basic concept to measure life, I believe that there shouldn't be any reason for anyone to grow old. If money is the basic concept to measure life, there shouldn't be any reason for anyone to die. These two phase is what you should use to measure life. If life, the basic concept of life, is to have money, there shouldn't be any reason for anyone to grow old. No. If the basic concept of life is for money, there shouldn't be any reason for anyone to die. There will be a provision for us to live consistently. There shall be a provision for us to be here, to remain here on this planet on constant basis, being here always, because for what it was, life is here, right? But if life is just like a snap, it's off, it's turned off, it's gone forever. And so, why are we really contending for nothing? Why are we not really seeing the need to have that mutual love for one another? Why are we really not seeing the need to help one another to make impact, to make an impactful, actions that could really change the situation that someone else is passing through, right? Why are we finding it difficult to really want to give back to the society? Why are we finding it difficult to see someone who could not eat, who could not feed, but yet we move along as if nothing is going on? Yet we have it. I'm talking about, okay, let's see, you really do not have it much. You are still struggling to make your ends meet. I understand, but there is least that you can give, because it's not in the abundance of what you gave. It's not about the abundance of what you really gave. Is if your heart is really in to change the environment. Because before I even embark on this journey, I do not have it. I don't have it much, but I've always known right from time in my heart. Whenever I'm passing by in the street, I see some disabled or some less privileged. Most people who are handicapped, who cannot really do something. There is this move, this gesture that I feel deep inside my heart whenever I'm moving down in the street. There is this, heart warming concern. I don't have it one, but I'm always, because this person who is in this condition could be me. There is this possibility. Yeah, it could be me. That is the way to measure people's situations and be able to feedback towards them. Those people that are suffering, it's possible that it could be me. So why am I just really consistent and concerned about my life alone? Right? This have always been right from time. Not that I has the abundance of what it is to help the world or to help the society, to help two and three individuals. No, it's just a feeling of concern. It's just the way I felt like the world shouldn't be in this way. The earth we live today shouldn't have been in this way. There should have been another mode, I mean, a perfect mode to use to mention this earth that we are living in. What is that perfect mode? Using God, God form of ness. Use the godness to look or to zoom into life. When you do that, it could be able to guarantee you a let's say a flash on a sight, a flash on insight of what the basic principle of life means. And through this means, then you see the need to really want to help or assist the society, right? This is what it was, guys. This is actually what it was, because it's earlier be better that we really start working towards this direction, because the world, I will say this because this is what I've seen through the grace of God in my encounter. Like, this world is not going to be a better place. Yeah, of a truth, this world is not going to be a better place. Like last year is better than this year, and this year will be better than next year, and next year will be better than the upper year to come. This is the life that we are climbing. So for this reason, make use of your now properly. Make use of your now properly while staying close to God. All right? Because a time is coming when you will certainly sit on the judgment throne of Christ. All right. Here we come to the end of today's live podcast. I want to appreciate Manta for his contributions. And I want to say, God bless you for that heart that you have. It's a heart of good. Manta, you dedicate. Diobenica, pecolola cure che tu c'hai. Lo sai perché? È grande cuore. Sì, veramente. È un grande cuore. Il cuore così c'è una ricompensa che c'hai dal Signore Gesù. Sì. Scusi. C'è un ricompensa per te. Non pensare che quella che tu già hai fatto è finita. No, niente che è finita. Quella che tu hai fatto è un'attività che tu hai fatto io direi che un tempo passato. Però questa cosa che tu già hai fatto, in futuro c'è un ricompensa per te. Mentre cura così perché tu già hai fatto qualcosa più grande. E con questa ci sta veramente che in futuro Dio che tu hai fatto con questa si devi ricompensare a te per questa cosa che tu hai fatto. Ciao ragazzi, io direi che ciao, buona serata per questo momento. Saluto tutti, saluto mamma, padre, signore, sorelle e fratelli. Ciao, buona serata e ci vediamo prossima volta.